Good morning. This will be the English Facebook Live of the Tamil Facebook Live that I've just completed. I thank you for your. This is regards the two custodial deaths that took place in Sattangulam of Tuticorin district of Tamil Nadu. The custodial deaths took place on the custodial torture took place on the 19th night, and the two individuals were remanded to judicial custody, and thereafter the younger son breathed his last on the night of the 22nd, while the father breathed his last on the early morning of 23rd. It is almost 20 days, 3 weeks since this incident has taken place. But in these 3 weeks, we have made remarkable progress. 10 policemen from the ranks of inspector to the constable are now in prison. A 164 statement has been recorded from one of the women head constables of the district, of the police station. The judicial magistrate of Koilpatti, who was entrusted with undertaking the 176 1A Criminal Procedure Code process of inquiry, which is in vogue since 2005, has commenced his work and is continuing his work till yesterday. And I'm sure he will continue for a few more days and then come out with his report. Two benches of the Madurai bench of the Madras High Court, two different benches, have been following this case, which was taken up as a suo motu public interest litigation by the bench itself on 24th of June. The bench, comprising Justice P.N. Prakash and Justice Pugalendi, continued their work on the 24th, on the 26th, on the 29th, on the 30th, on the 2nd and the 3rd in monitoring this case and giving all the directions that had to be given. And at the same time, ensured that this case was properly handed over to the next bench, comprising Justice Satyanarayanan J. and Justice Rajamanikam, who took up the case on the 9th of this month. And the case is posted on the 28th. The court has specifically directed that social media should be used in a responsible manner and there should be no media trial. And we are extremely careful and meticulous in ensuring that we respect the court's order. The SHRC has come forward suo motu and taken up this case. And People's Watch has also joined SHRC in taking up this case. The NHRC, which was silent throughout, was then woken up by a complaint from the Member of Parliament of Thoothukudi Parliamentary Constituency, Madam Kanimuri, and a letter addressed to the NHRC by its prison monitor, Madam Maya Darwala, and thereafter they took it on file. Sad to tell the NHRC, the court is seized of the matter. And the SHRC has already taken up the matter. And your reputation in Tuticorin district is very poor because you have chosen not to let us know what your NHRC's report was on the basis of the investigation team that publicly visited and heard several witnesses in June 2018 after the Sterlite killings, where 16 people were dead. Friends, I'm talking to you today as a member of People's Watch, as an executive committee member of the World Organization Against Torture, based in Geneva, and since People's Watch also is a member of Forum Asia, which has members in 19 countries, human rights organizations. I speak as a member of Forum Asia, as a member of Civicus, which is a global organization which looks at issues of civic space, and as we are members of the International Dalit Solidarity Network, we talk to you on behalf of the International Dalit Solidarity Network with its headquarters in Copenhagen. And as we are members of the Federation, International Federation on Human Rights, FIDH, with its headquarters in Paris, I speak on behalf of FIDH as well. And the appeal is today, friends, that such matters of gross human rights violation, torture, needs a larger people's movement network, linking us across our small little geographies, across seas, across oceans, across continents, to fight torture. And that is why I said, speaking on behalf of OMCT, speaking on behalf of FIDA, speaking on behalf of Forum Asia, on behalf of Civicus, etc. The state of Tamil Nadu saw severe protests, and People's Watch on the 28th organized a one-day condemnation meeting, which started at 10:30 in the morning and went on till 2:30, and once again started at 5:30 and went on till 9:30 in the evening, with all political parties, political movements, human rights organizations, Bar Council, advocates, forensic experts condemning the incident. But it was not a meeting only to condemn, it was a meeting to create. And born out of that is the Joint Action Committee. Joint Action Against Custodial Torture Tamil Nadu, JACT Tamil Nadu. Joint Action Against Custodial Torture Tamil Nadu. People in Tamil Nadu are fed up. And therefore, this action of creating a Joint Action Committee. The Joint Action Committee is headed by Comrade Thiagu, well known in Tamil Nadu, has been on the death row, has seen prison, has seen police violence outside, has participated in campaign for custodial justice in Tamil Nadu for years together. One who has translated Justice Krishna here in all his public talks in Tamil Nadu. He is our convener. And the ad hoc committee will have Mr. Meeta Pandian from the Communist Party, Marxist-Leninist, in Madurai as its secretary. All political parties have agreed to be party to this joint action, and that is the greatness of the joint action. People's Watch is privileged to have one member, Mr. Asirvadam, serving on the committee. We have Advocate Ajita serving on the committee. And I'm hopeful the committee will take this movement forward of monitoring the case, campaign against torture, and looking after all other cases of torture that come up. And today, therefore, our appeal is on behalf of JACT, on behalf of the convener of JACT, Mr. Thiagu, on behalf of the ad hoc committee of JACT, which today has its district committees being constituted in almost 30 districts, that today we observe a day of protest. That today we observe a day of protest respecting all norms that have to be respected because of the corona. I myself am in self-quarantine for obvious reasons. Protest in your house. Protest outside your gate. Protest on your terrace. Protest in your street with several families coming together. But protest you must. Hold on slogans. You would have seen slogans on my Facebook. Use them. The demands are going to be put on my Facebook. Use them. And what are our demands? Our demands are that no bail to any of these 10 accused. Senior officers such as the Superintendent of Police, Additional Superintendent of Police, the DSP, who have directly a hand in negligence, and some of them even in the murder, by remaining silent, have to be immediately suspended and brought within the ring of the investigation. The doctor, the magistrate, the jailer have to be brought in. The Judges Protection Act 1985 therefore mandates the Chief Justice of the High Court to take action on the magistrate. Otherwise, people will lose trust in the rule of law. And the justice mechanism itself. We are demanding that all the incidents that have taken place in that place, continuous cases of torture, of illegal detention, torture, death, and disposal of body, this case is pending before the Madurai bench at the moment, are all taken up for a complete collective inquiry. The friends of police have to be brought into this inquiry. So these are the demands that we have put forth. And we request the government of Tamil Nadu to ensure that you don't interfere with the family. Don't go them and tell them, we are giving you a job. We want to give you an e-pass. Please bring your Aadhaar card. There is a spelling mistake. We want to correct it in the Tahsildar's office. Hey, these are jokes here. Changing the family has to come. We know all these tactics of how you bring them into your control. Refrain from them. Keep a distance from them. You are representatives of the state that killed. When I appealed to the collector, he said, I'm part of the government. If you're part of the government that killed, you're a district magistrate, you are responsible for it. Keep away, is what we say. Keep away. Your CBCID yesterday had, or 2 days ago had, the audacity to ask a singer, Surchita, to remove her video put up on her Twitter account or something. Shame. You came 8 days late. She put exactly what the people there were talking. If wrong information should not go, then the investigation should have started day one. You go and threaten her with a criminal case? Come and do it to us. Come and do it to us. Shame. Can't question your SP. Can't bring your additional SP. Can't bring Pratap and DSP into custody. You go and handle Suchitra. Come and handle Jack. Go to Tyagu. Go to Comrade Tyagu. Go to Mr. Meeta Pandian. Go to Advocate Ajita. Go to our VCK representative, our TMMK representative, our MDMK representative, our SDPI representative, all in the State Ad Hoc Committee, and they will teach you a lesson. Friends, therefore we need to protest today, whole day, anytime. Put up all your videos, your photographs on your Facebook, and make sure you send it to 99943 68523 or 41 or 27. I will put up these numbers in the Facebook immediately. We are living in a right to information era where there is no information. I have my custody. The postmortem report, complete postmortem report of George Floyd, which was put up in public domain on the 1st of June. I have it with me from the 5th of June. But the family of Jairaj and Benix don't have the postmortem. That belongs to them. That is all they have. Their bodies have gone. The reports is all they will hold for their lifetime. the medical certificate of Dr. Vanilla in Satangulam Hospital, the medical certificate in the jail, the medical certificate where Jairaj was for over 10 hours admitted in the hospital, of Dr. Balasubramaniam or whoever his name is. We are no longer in the old era of custodial justice. We are in the right to information era, and if right to information is part of right to life, the right to life of the dependents of Jairaj's family have a right to at least these documents, please. We need the courts to come forward on such matters urgently, not only here, but to ensure that custodial justice really prevails. I humbly ask my good friend who is the head of the police force in Tamil Nadu, Mr. J.K. Tripathi, it is time for you to act. You have used the Prakash Singh case of the Supreme Court judgment in your interest to keep this position for 2 years. Very good. But why don't you ensure that the other mandates of the Supreme Court in the same judgment are followed meticulously? All you DGPs of Tamil Nadu have failed the people of Tamil Nadu, whether it was during the DMK government or whether it was during the ADMK government. Have failed. You have come up with a police complaints authority that needs to be thrown in the Bay of Bengal. You want me in Madurai district to go and complain to the district collector with the SP as a member, or in the commissionerate with the deputy commissioner as a member? Will you do it for your cause? As an IAS, as an IPS? Shame on you. Please, intervene urgently. Come out. Come out. This is time for an ordinance to throw the old Tamil Nadu Police Reforms Act of 2013, the Bay of Bengal, and come out to something new. That is what we are protesting for today. The voice in this protest will multiply and multiply and multiply, my dear friends. Multiply, not only in Tamil Nadu, but the entire state. And therefore I appeal to all my friends across the country, whichever state you belong to, spare 2 minutes for this protest. Put it up on your Facebook. Connect it to me. Share it with me. Share it with Tor Thiagu. And send it to this number you will see down. Let us not stop with Facebook Lives. Let us not stop with sharing Facebook Lives. Many people believe in doing everything on Facebook. Today we are using this medium because it reaches to you. But what has to be done is to ensure that you participate in this protest. And you participate and be a member of the district committee, so that every case of torture that takes place to a Dalit, to a Muslim, to a Koravar, to a Kallotar, to whoever, any Adivasi, any poor person, any fisherman, the entire state will be up in arms in solidarity. This is the way to build a vigilant Tamil Nadu, to ensure that Article 21 is protected in the absence of a protection of Prevention of Torture Act in this country. I appeal to all of you, therefore. Join the joint action against custodial torture in Tamil Nadu in large numbers, as individuals, as organizations, as movements, as trade unions, as Dalit organizations, women's organizations, organizations of persons with disabilities, so that whenever a small little person is touched, is tortured, there will be a protest immediately. He will be rushed to the hospital for medical attention. We will use the online complaint form and ensure that the case is taken up. We appeal to the Tamil Nadu Legal Services Authority, the District's Legal Services Authority, the Taluk Legal Services Authority. We are inspired. I am inspired. Was inspired. And owe a lot of my public life to that small little man, Mr. Raja, who was responsible for the strong Tamil Nadu Free Legal Aid Board that we had. Justice Chandru was a lawyer working there. Many of our lawyers, Geeta Ramasheshan, Ratnam, were all lawyers there. Priya were a lawyer there. It was not the PUCL which took up those cases those days. I happened to be the Secretary General of the Secretary of the Tamil Nadu PUCL. The cases were taken by Legal Aid. It was the Tamil Nadu Legal Aid Board versus the state of Tamil Nadu. That is the history of the Tamil Nadu Legal Aid Board before the Legal Services Authority came. That history has to be imbibed in spirit. That wherever there is a custodial torture complained of in the newspaper, in the TV, the legal aid of that district, of that taluk, immediately deputes not paralegals but lawyers. Lawyers need to be active, lawyers need to be paid, and we need to be paid according to our dignity. And we will restore your dignity of the Legal Services Authority by fighting these issues. So I once again appeal to all of you. Join in the protest today. You may be in France, you may be in Bangkok, you may be in Mongolia, you may be in Philippines, you may be somewhere in Africa, in Geneva, in Rajasthan, in Kolkata, in Karnataka, in Delhi, wherever you are, within the country or outside the country, we want you to protest in support of JACT. JACT will be part of a larger global movement against torture. Yes, we believe in networking, and we believe we will succeed in such networking. Thank you.